Right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kieran, and yes, welcome to a very different kind of Fallout video than usual, because today I decided to highlight some Fallout 5 ideas that I've seen from the community. So I had this idea for this video last week because on my channel the comments I get every single day is on either a Fallout mod video or on that Fallout 5 video I did last year that's, YouTube still shares around. On my Fallout 5 video though, the comment section has turned into this sort of place where people come and share their dream Fallout 5 ideas with their own factions and their own locations and all that jazz, and some actually really go into detail. So I was sitting here and I was like, do you know what? Why not cover these ideas in the videos? Why not cover this idea in this video in particular? So maybe this can be like a series on the channel, I don't really know. Let me know down in the comments below if you do want to see this turn into some sort of a series. But without further ado, let's jump right into the first idea. A nice short one from, how the fuck do you say this guy's name? H3R0 of 7IM3. Fucking what kind of name is that? Don't know, but okay. But yes, anyway, he says, or she says, Fallout 5 could take place in Michigan and involve the BOS heavily and add vehicles since Michigan was a hub for auto industry. Michigan is definitely an interesting choice, and I do like where your mind is going with the vehicles. Cars have been featured, in a Fallout game in the past. I think it was Fallout 2 where you could, what was it? Was it the Lone Wanderer car, I think it was called? And you could basically use that to travel faster across the world map and to not actually drive around in. Having vehicles is kind of a tricky one. I honestly do love the mods and stuff like that people add into the game where you can like mount rad stags and shit and you can drive your own trucks, you can drive your own cars. I do like that. I actually used that once in a video before. But I don't know, it's I think it kind of depends on the situation. I think it kind of depends on the type of vehicle. Are they featured too heavily? Because if they're featured too heavily, then it just becomes Mad Max, essentially. The idea is really cool. I do like it, I do dig it. And the whole thing about featuring the BOS heavily in it, I can imagine them in it, to be fair, because it is vehicles are technology, and imagine the Brotherhood of Steel just cutting about with a fucking 8 foot tank there. I don't really know what I was going with there, but yeah, you kind of get the point. Imagine them, just patrolling around in tanks and APCs and just armoured vehicles in general and custom vehicles in general. I know where you're going with this idea, and it does sound pretty cool. The massive mod for New Vegas called the Frontier, which actually is not out yet even though it's been worked on for about 8 years at this point, is actually doing vehicles, so maybe a Fallout with cars and all that would work, and maybe have the story focus around it would be cool, but at the same time my mind keeps wandering off and comparing it to the likes of Mad Max. It's a cool idea in general. Thank you H3R0 of 7IM3. Thank you so much for that idea, man. Do appreciate it. Another idea stems from both Lost in Reverence and Wild Jubilance, where they both say roughly the same thing. I think Fallout 5 should take place in Chicago, Illinois, or Midwestern America, because throughout most of the previous Fallout games, and the area hasn't really been explored in a Fallout game yet, and it could have quite an interesting story if Fallout 5 takes place here. You see, both the Midwestern chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel and the Enclave are reportedly there, and it would be interesting to see how the two factions face off, given that the Midwestern Brotherhood of Steel doesn't have the likes of Liberty Prime, like the East Brotherhood of Steel did in Fallout 3 and in Fallout 4. In addition, the Midwestern Brotherhood of Steel's philosophy and ideology reportedly differ from that of the West and East chapters. Suffice to say, it would be an interesting take if Fallout 5 were to take place in Midwestern America. Chicago is definitely a shout and is also right next to Michigan as well, so it's nice to see everyone's ideas and everyone's mind being sort of in a similar place and around this sort of Midwestern area. The story he proposes seems like it would be very interesting as well, especially if it would be kind of the opposite in a way to Fallout 3's story. As in, imagine in the story the player had a choice to either join the Midwestern Brotherhood or the Enclave, and also in this game they wouldn't be looked at as an antagonistic force all the time. I do like this idea, especially since the fight would be kind of even between the two factions, and with the Midwestern Brotherhood accepting in, non-humans like ghouls and super mutants, it would make the fight that more interesting than in, Fallout 3. Honestly, I would love this idea to actually be in Fallout, despite my thoughts on wanting brand new factions to be the main focus, rather than the traditional NCR and the Brotherhood, because we've seen them a million times. There's no point in keep you fucking shoving them in every little section. Also, Fallout Tactics, an older spin-off title which features the Midwestern Brotherhood, is also considered non-canon by Bethesda, with only its major events being canon, so it's entirely possible for them to return here. This next idea is a pretty meaty one, to be honest, from user Wit and Badoo, who proposes this. Fallout 5 Texas, where you play as a character called the Drifter. As the Drifter, you're caught up in the brutal time in West Texas, as the Texas Federation is at a point in which they faced one of the most notorious threats yet, the Oklahoma Regulars to the north, and the Caesars Legion to the west. The Texas Federation is known for its army, and is probably best known for its militarized police force, the Texas Rangers. The Federation is in dire need of support from the Texas Brotherhood of Steel, with their superior technology and weaponry. The Texas Brotherhood now allows civilians into their ranks so they can grow in power. Kinda like the Midwestern, but you know, not allowing mutants and stuff like that. The Drifter can decide whether or not this Federation lives. By siding with the Federation, you're given the opportunity to be the Commander-in-Chief of their army. Your main goals is to fight the Legion to the west and fight the Regulars to the north, and also to gain a military alliance with the Brotherhood, or convince them to unite with you under one Texas banner. If you side with the Brotherhood, you will do a certain amount of quests for them, until you realise that the Brotherhood's current Elder is not really liked by anyone. You are then voted in as the new Elder, and you are to side with the Federation or remain independent and fight off the Legion and Regulars by yourself. He continues by saying the events will be taking place in 2293, 6 years after the events of Fallout 4 and 12 years after the event of New Vegas. In this timeline, the NCR ending to New Vegas is canon. The Legion also has a new leader named Augustus, and no, not Augustus Gloop from Willy Wonka. Augustus as in the son of Caesar, who is never mentioned in the game because his mother was a slave. He says, note, this may seem repetitive, but this is all a part of my vision. By repetitive, I mean that each faction you join, you can become the general or the leader of the faction. I did this to put an emphasis on that you, or you know, the Drifter, as the characters, are going to feel like they are what's needed for Texas. Being so high in the rank gives them a lot of power, and they will need to use that power for good or for evil. Well, I kinda want to start off by saying, like, something kinda cynical, and that is, this game will never happen under BGS's reign. It just won't, unfortunately. It can be an amazing mod, or maybe at one point Bethesda are like, hey, by the way, let's license out the game again, which will probably never happen. Caesar's Legion, NCR, in a Bethesda Game Studios game? What? Although it is an interesting idea, it's an interesting concept, but yeah, I just don't really see it happening. Although I do want it to happen. Just bear that in mind, I do want this sort of thing to happen. But I know personally it just won't, unfortunately. Now, Texas is a great location I see many Fallout fans wanting, and I remember talking to a guy a while ago about a mod originally for New Vegas called Fallout Lone Star, which took place in Texas, and you're centered around the Texas Rangers and stuff like that. And it sounded great, but I think the project was very much dead because it was announced just before Fallout 4 was announced or revealed or something like that. And then when that game was announced, they planned to like shift the development from New Vegas onto that game, but then after that it just kind of went dark. There's like nothing happened, like there was no talk of it whatsoever. I don't even know if it was officially cancelled, it just went dead. The idea is a cool concept, but you can definitely see the inspiration coming from New Vegas, especially with the NCR, the Caesars Legion, and the Brotherhood, especially the whole thing between the Brotherhood and the Federation, because that heavily reminds me of like a quest line in New Vegas where if you side with the NCR, you can have an unstable alliance with the Brotherhood. You can convince them to do an uneasy alliance with each other, and that is what, you know, heavily sort of inspires this idea, I think. Actually, it could turn out exactly like New Vegas in terms of how the story would play out. If Fallout 5 was to take place in Texas, I think I would prefer more original factions and maybe have the NCR return, but have only a small presence in the game. Kind of like just have them set up in like a diplomatic outpost or something like that. Also, having the ability to be a leader of a faction is cool, but I would say it should only apply to maybe one faction, you know, kind of like the Minutemen in Fallout 4, although you can be the leader of the Institute, although I do find that's fucking stupid. Because it would be weird just to play the game, do a few quests, and then all of a sudden, hey, you're voted in as the Brotherhood's Elder, even though you just got here, but hello, anyway, you seem like a good guy, come join us. I just don't really think that's realistic. I don't think that's it should really happen that way. It would kind of break my immersion a wee bit, I would say. Basically, my thoughts on this idea is that it is a cool concept, but personally, I wouldn't like to see factions like the NCR and Caesar's Legion return. I've kind of accepted at this point that the Brotherhood would be shoved into like every Fallout entry made by Bethesda Game Studios, so any idea with them in it is realistic to me. Honestly, I would love a Fallout Texas where it's a bit like the Wild West, but mixed in with Fallout 3's atmosphere, you know, that would be absolutely amazing and brilliant, and entirely possible as well. And what I mean by Fallout 3's atmosphere, I mean, like, it's kind of hopeless, it's kind of down, it's very apocalyptic, and New Vegas wasn't really like that, although New Vegas did have that sort of Wild West sort of feel to it as well. So maybe I'm kind of, actually, I think I'm just generally saying, hey, mix the atmosphere of New Vegas and Fallout 3 together and have that mesh a little bit more, you know? So wrapping up the video, I just want to include a small little comment from user 1233RQs. By the way, if I misspell or like mispronounce any of the names in this video, I am sorry. Internet names do not go well with me, and regular names don't go well with me as well, by the way, just saying. So, I just want to put that out there. But yes, RQs says this: Fallout 5 better be in NYC, to which I say, maybe, at some point. I don't really know. Very possible. I'll just say that. It's a very possible idea here. You see, I think a Fallout 5 setting in New York City would be cool, because, you know, it's the fucking Big Apple, of course it would be cool, but it would need to make sure that it doesn't follow the same footsteps as in Fallout 4 and Fallout 3, and have it set up to be a very unique map compared to Fallout 4's and 3's. I mean, just in terms of the feeling, overall atmosphere of the city, Fallout 3's Washington felt hopeless. You were walking through, you were like, it felt dangerous, you know? It felt really fucking dangerous. It felt like you didn't know what was going to be around every corner. It felt like a destroyed city, so you're like, okay, how can I get from one place to the other? I need to go through the metro. In Fallout 4's city didn't really seem dangerous to me, even though it was dangerous. I didn't feel in danger. I didn't feel like I was looking at the city and being like, okay, this seems dangerous, let's enter with caution. I never entered with caution because it just didn't look like it should be cautious, you know? If they did go back to a more city-central Fallout title, then New York would be a cool one to go to, and probably the most realistic one here, to be fair, because it is on the East Coast, it is next to Boston and stuff like that, so it would just make sense for, you know, Bethesda to aim to go there. And to be fair, I actually think it will feel more like Fallout 3, as in the atmosphere. I keep talking about the atmosphere is important to Fallout games, and so I think Fallout 5, if it was set in New York City, it would feel a lot like Fallout 3 in my opinion. I did see other comments about a Fallout New York, and I will get to those another day. Thanks everyone for watching the video, I hope you did enjoy, and if you're interested in seeing this video become like a series on the channel, or you know, you have ideas yourself that you want to give, you want to tell me about your Fallout ideas, you know, leave it in the comment below. I will definitely check them out. I do read every comment, by the way. Every comment in every single one of my videos I do read, so yeah, just you know, post them. I'll definitely check it out. I honestly love reading these ideas and feel really happy that you're all just leaving them in that comment section of that Fallout 5 video I did. I was not expecting it to blow up as it did. Honestly, it was amazing. It was really cool. I just wasn't... The thing is, like, when I uploaded it, I had like 100 views or something like that, and I was like, okay, I'll leave that there. People will enjoy it, maybe. People will find it, maybe. I don't really know. And now, the second you type in Fallout 5, where is it? Oh, it's right there, and everyone watches it. Thank you so much, everyone, for checking it out. Thank you so much for supporting it. I do really appreciate it, and I do love that it's became this sort of hub where people just, like, put their Fallout 5 ideas. It's really cool. Special thanks, my brilliant wee patrons, Proxy1, Devil, and TJ Monster, for your continued support over on my Patreon. Thank you guys so much, I do really appreciate it. But yes, everyone, that was me for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and again, I say this again, if you guys want to see this become a series in the channel, please write down in the comments below along with your ideas if you have them, and I will definitely make it into a series. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye.